All aboard!
That passenger train is about to leave.
Click on the passenger train. This train has 64 cars behind its engine.
Hey, a freight train! That's a train that carries animals and cargo.
Click on the freight train. This train has 307 cars behind its engine.
Wow, that's a pretty long train. Say, the numbers of cars on these trains are quite different.
Which sign would you use to compare 307 and 64? Drag a sign here, then click OK. That's it. You use this sign.
307 is greater than 64. So you use the is greater than sign to compare these numbers. The freight train has a lot more cars than the passenger train. Let's see if we can find out how many more cars it has.
Which number sentence can you use to find how many more cars the freight train has than the passenger train? Click on the number sentence, and when you're done, click OK. That's it. You can use this number sentence.
To find out how many more cars the freight train has than the passenger train, we subtract the number of cars the passenger train has, 64, from the number of cars the freight train has, 307. Before we subtract, let's estimate to get an idea of what this difference is. I think a number line marked in hundreds will help. First, let's see where 307 and 64 lie on the number line.
About where on this number line are 307 and 64? Drag each number to the correct place on the number line, then click OK. That's it. 307 is about here, and 64 is about here on the number line.
Okay, now we can estimate the difference by seeing about how many cars each train has in hundreds.
Which hundred is nearest to 307? Click on the correct hundred, then click OK. That's not the correct hundred. Try again. That's right. 300 is nearest to 307.
Looking at the number line, 307 is about 300. So the freight train has about 300 cars. Okay, now let's see about how many hundred cars are on the passenger train.
Click on the passenger train. The nearest hundred to 64 is 100.
Right. So we can say that the number of cars on the passenger train is about 100. Now, let's estimate how many more cars the freight train has than the passenger train.
About how many more cars does the freight train have than the passenger train? Drag your answer here, then click OK. That's not it. Try again. That's it. The freight train has about 200 more cars than the passenger train.
This length shows about how many more cars the freight train has than the passenger train. We can see that this is the difference between 100 and 300, which is 200. So the freight train has about 200 more cars than the passenger train. We've estimated that the difference between 307 and 64 is 200. Now, let's find the exact difference. To help us subtract, we can line up the digits in the hundreds, tens, and ones places of these numbers. The number we're subtracting from goes on top, and the number we're subtracting goes underneath. Now, starting in the ones place, 4 is less than 7. So we'll be able to subtract here without regrouping. But look at the digits in the tens place. Here we have to subtract 6 tens from 0 tens. And 6 is greater than 0. It looks like we'll have to regroup. To help us regroup, let's use blocks to show the number we're subtracting from.
Drag hundreds, tens, and ones here to show 307. When you're done, click OK. That's it. 3 hundreds, 0 tens, and 7 ones show 307.
Now, to subtract in the tens place, we're going to need more tens here. We can see that there are 3 hundreds here. So we can regroup one of these hundreds and put it in the tens place.
Drag this 100 into the tens place. $100 is 10 tens.
Now we have 2 hundreds, 10 tens, and 7 ones. So regrouping like this will give us enough tens to subtract in the tens place. Let's show this regrouping using the numbers. To regroup 100, first write 3 in the hundreds place as 2 plus 1. Now regrouping this 100 gives us 10 tens, which we add to the 0 tens in the tens place to get 10 plus 0, or 10 tens. Since 10 is greater than 6, we can now subtract in the tens place. Now for the hundreds place. There are 2 hundreds here and 0 hundreds here. So we can subtract in this place also. Okay, let's subtract.
Can you subtract in each place to find the difference? Drag a digit here, here, and here. Then click OK. That's right. The difference is 243.
Starting with the ones place, 7 minus 4 is 3. Now look at the tens place. 10 tens minus 6 tens is 4 tens. And 2 hundreds minus 0 hundreds is 2 hundreds. So 307 minus 64 is 243. Wow! The freight train does have a lot more cars than the passenger train. 243 more cars to be exact. Well, we estimated that the difference was about 200 cars, so our answer looks about right. I guess we could check to make sure. If the difference between 307 and 64 is 243, then 243 plus 64 should equal 307. Let's see. Adding in the ones place, 4 plus 3 equals 7. Next, add in the tens place.
What is the sum of the digits in the tens place? Type in your answer, and when you're done, click OK. That's it. The sum of the digits in the tens place is 10.
Wait a minute. We have 10 tens here. But 10 tens is 100.
Click on the number 10.
Okay, because we can regroup 10 tens as 100, we can write the digit 0 here in the tens place and write the digit 1 here in the hundreds place. Now we can add the digits in the hundreds place.
What is the sum of the digits in the hundreds place? Type in your answer here, then click OK. That's it. The sum of the digits in the hundreds place is 3.
The 100 you regrouped plus 200s equals 300s. Hey, 64 plus 243 does equal 307. So our subtraction was correct. The freight train has 243 more cars than the passenger train.
Click on this number sentence. To check subtraction, we can use addition.
Well, it must be about time you boarded the train. Uh-oh, the passenger train's leaving already. It looks like you'll have to ride on the freight train.
Click on these arrows to change the number being subtracted from 500. Watch how the difference changes. Well done! You've completed this lesson. Click here to go to the practice area, or click here to return to the menu.
There are 189 apples in this basket and 77 apples in this basket. 189 lies about here on this number line, close to 200. And 77 lies about here on this number line, close to 100. So we can estimate how many more apples are in this basket than in this basket.
About how many more apples are in this basket than in this basket? Drag the number here, then click OK. That's it. There are about 100 more apples in this basket than in this basket.
This length shows about how many more apples are in this basket than in this basket. We can see that this is the difference between 100 and 200, which is 100. So there are about 100 more apples in this basket than in this basket. There are 587 candies here and 95 candies here.
What is the difference between 587 and 95? Drag your answer here, then click OK. That's right. The difference between 587 and 95 is 492.
To find the difference between these numbers, we can start by lining up the digits in each place. In the ones place, 7 minus 5 is 2. In the tens place, 8 is less than 9. So, to subtract, we need to regroup from the hundreds place. We can rewrite 500s as 400s plus 100, and regroup 100 as 10 tens. 10 plus 8 is 18, and 18 minus 9 is 9. 400s minus no hundreds is 400s. So the difference between 587 and 95 is 492.
What is the difference between 757 and 66? Drag your answer here, then click OK. That's right. The difference between 757 and 66 is 691.
To find the difference between these numbers, we can start by lining up the digits in each place. In the ones place, 7 minus 6 is 1. In the tens place, 5 is less than 6. So, to subtract, we can regroup from the hundreds place. We can rewrite 700s as 600s plus 100, and regroup 100 as 10 tens. 10 plus 5 is 15, and 15 minus 6 is 9. 600s minus no hundreds is 600s. So the difference between 757 and 66 is 691.
This tree is 258 feet tall, and this tree is 77 feet tall. The difference between 258 and 77 is 181. Which of these number sentences would you use to check this subtraction? Click on a number sentence and then click OK. That's it. You can use this number sentence to check this subtraction.
The difference between 258 and 77 is 181. So 181 plus 77 should equal 258. In the ones place, 7 plus 1 is 8. And in the tens place, 8 plus 7 is 15. 15 tens can be regrouped as 100 and 5 tens. 100 plus 100 is 200s. So the sum of these numbers is 258. To check that the difference between 258 and 77 is 181, you can use this number sentence.
Good work! You've completed these practice questions. Click here to go to the workout, or click here to return to the menu.
Take a look at this family of sea lions. Here is a male sea lion, a female sea lion, and a pup. This shows the weight of each sea lion. I wonder how many pounds heavier the female sea lion is than her pup.
Which number sentence would you use to find how many pounds heavier the female sea lion is than her pup? Click on the number sentence, then click OK. That's not the correct number sentence. Try again. That's not it. This is the correct number sentence.
To find how many pounds heavier the female sea lion is than her pup, you need to find the difference between 545 and 51. Well, to subtract 51 from 545, you can write the numbers like this.
What is 545 minus 51? Drag a number here, and when you're done, click OK. That's it. 545 minus 51 is 494.
So, the female sea lion is 494 pounds heavier than her pup. You need to subtract 51 from 545. Let's start with the ones. 5 minus 1 is 4. Now for the tens. In the tens place, the digit you're subtracting, 5, is greater than the digit you're subtracting from, 4. So you have to regroup.
Which place do you regroup from? The hundreds place or the ones place? Click on the correct place, then click OK. That's right. You regroup from the hundreds place.
To help you regroup these 500s, let's show the number 545 using blocks. There are 10 tens in 100, so you can regroup 100 as 10 tens.
Click on this 100.
Now that you've regrouped using blocks, you can regroup from the 5 in the hundreds place in the same way. You can rewrite this 5 as 4 plus 1. Regrouping this 100 gives you 10 tens, which you add to the 4 tens in the tens place to get 14 tens. And since 14 is greater than 5, you can now subtract.
can you subtract in the tens place? Drag a number here, then click OK. That's it. Subtracting in the tens place gives you 9 tens.
14 tens minus 5 tens is 9 tens, and 4 hundreds minus 0 hundreds is 4 hundreds. So 545 minus 51 equals 494. The female sea lion is 494 pounds heavier than her pup. To be sure that this difference is correct, add 51 and 494 and see if you get 545. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 tens plus 9 tens is 14 tens. You can regroup 14 tens as 104 tens. Now add the hundreds.
What is the sum of the digits in the hundreds place? Type in a number here, then click OK. That's it. The sum of these digits is 5.
100 plus 400s is 500s. So 51 plus 494 does equal 545. The difference is correct. The female sea lion is 494 pounds heavier than her pup. This pup will have to eat a lot to weigh as much as his mom.
Good job! You've completed this workout. Click here to go to the next lesson, or click here to return to the menu.